Hey, I'm Rob. I'm one of the volunteers here at the Southeastern Railway Museum in Duluth, Georgia. Very cool place. If you've never been here, you need to come here. But today we're going to take a look at the progress that's going on with Christine here. Christine is a 1957 MTC train that used to be at the Birmingham Zoo. Now, this is the 4th video that I've done, so I'll put the links to the other ones below. But we're going to catch you up on what's going on, not only with Christine, which is in here for some routine maintenance, but a second train, which also is being restored by these guys. So let's take a look.
Just to give you an update of where we are in the maintenance with Christine, which is 900. You may know we have two of these trains. One is 900, the other is 902. But I'm going to bring you up to speed on the maintenance that's going on with 900 or Christine. So our maintenance program going on right now is mainly focused on the power trucks, which go underneath the train, and in the power section here, the coupler between the clutch and the gearbox. If you remember from previous videos, this is the engine that we had restored about 2 years ago. It's been running great, so now we need to take on a few of the other parts to get them up to snuff. So first, the connection in here between these two is basically a collar with some ball bearings. The part's on order, so hopefully we'll get that mid next week, get this hooked up, and she'll be ready to go up here. The second focus of our maintenance is the power trucks. We have no idea when the last time was that these power trucks were serviced. It could be as long as 60 years ago, really don't know. What's interesting about these are very similar to the differential box that you would find in an automobile. So there's a power source coming up the top that turns the axles down below. So you have multiple oil seals, multiple gears. Again, these things have not been serviced for a very, very long time. Inside of there are bearings and oil seals and all kinds of stuff. They were way too complicated for us here. So we put them in a box. We sent one up to Chicago to a guy that we met through the internet. He's working on them and we think he's going to do a great job. Bring it back here. We have plans to send a couple of more up there. And eventually we'll have these things serviced so they're not leaking anymore. This one goes on the front. This is one that's going to go on the back. So obviously we have a lot of work to do. We've got two differential box. We've got what they call a dog bone that goes in between, some collars and stuff like that. All the parts have been ordered to put this thing back together. So hopefully we'll have that done. Again, the parts show up middle of next week. Hopefully we'll get this done in a week or so. So that's basically the focus of putting Christine back on the rails. Our goal is to have it back sometime in February, certainly before the end of the month, maybe by the 3rd week. If you'll notice here, one of the things that, as long as I've been here, which is about 9 years, we don't have windows. So one of the things we're going to do in this maintenance effort is we're going to put windows in her. She's going to look great. So that's something that we've been wanting to do. So that's essentially the focus. Come out and see us in February, and hopefully Christine will be back on the rails.
I'm Ken, another one of the volunteers here with the park train at the Southeastern Railway Museum. This is a power train that will be going in our 902 unit that is presently being restored. This power train with its clutch and gearbox will be dropped in the shell of the refurbished shell of 902. I'm going to try to start this right now and we'll see how she runs. May take a little tuning up, but we think we've got a winner here. This is Bree. She's our shop dog. She loves to wear her shop rag collar. When I put that on her at the house, she knows she's coming here. As we tear these pieces of equipment apart, we discover that there is wear and tear over many, many years of service that until you start looking into it, you don't realize how it is. This is a connecting shaft between the two differential boxes on the wheel sets, and the one end of this is still in good shape. The other end of it is almost completely destroyed. These are parts that you have no idea what status they're in until you tear them apart and look at it. And the other thing that we have found, there is wear and tear that happens. This is one of the one of the drive shafts that go to the power trucks from the gearbox. There's one that goes to the front set, one that goes to the back set. And these also, over many, many years of service, will wear out, and we fortunately have a drive shaft company close by that does an excellent job of rebuilding those. Rear end of the last car is considered an observation car, is what it was called by MTC. We have most of the parts that go to recreate the observation car back end. This attaches on the back of one of the cars and turns it into the observation car. We've got some challenges in figuring out how to complete the restoration of this, but that's also on the list of to-dos. So on this table, we have one of the power trucks that's disassembled. Each of the axles has a differential. We have other differentials sitting over here waiting to be serviced, and actually full restoration of these are beyond our skill set. Eric up in Illinois, we can send those to him and he's going to be able to return them to good status. They are many, many decades, possibly original seals and bearings, so it is time after 60 years for them to get some love.
Well, I'm Gary, part of the park train crew here at the Southeastern Railway Museum, and you may be wondering, how did all this start? Well, it began with a man and his son in 1928 in Rensselaer, Indiana. A gentleman by the name of P.A. Sturdivant built a steam locomotive for his son, and they ran tracks all around their property. Well, before you knew it, it became a very popular thing for the kids in the neighborhood. Well, one of those kids' father was an executive at Sears, and he approached Sturdivant about leasing one of those trains for his store at Christmas. And so the idea was that the parents could basically do their shopping while the kids rode the train. Well, to say the least, that was an amazingly popular thing, and that led to the sale of many, many more of the G16s. Where Sturdivant got the design, though, was from the electromotive company that had just released the E1. So he designed the G16s to look like the very most contemporary engine at that time. And that's the beginning of the miniature train company.
Thanks for watching, folks, and we will keep you updated as we put these trains back on the tracks, and don't forget to come out and visit us here at the museum.